SQL Server interview question answer. So, for the SQL Server interview question answer, first of all, we need to know what is SQL Server and what the concepts come inside the SQL Server, right? So, let's start with the what is SQL Server. SQL Server is the relational database management system that developed by the Microsoft to store, retrieve, and manage data using the what is the meaning of RDBMS? RDBMS is Relational Database Management System. Now, what is SQL? SQL is the full form of the SQL is structured query language. Means something which is right in the structured format. Now, after that, here we are a SQL. Something which we write in structured format to querying our data to fetch means retrieve, store means save, and manage means update or anything like this, or anything how to manage. So overall, SQL Server is something by which we can manage our data. Either we are store or we retrieve or we serve. This is the SQL Server. So if someone is asked to you what is SQL Server, then SQL Server is the relational database, RDBMS, right? Relational database management system in which the data is managed format. Managed format. What is the meaning of managed format? Managed format means the data is stored in the row and column based. What is unmanaged format? Unmanaged format is the data which is stored like file format, right? JSON format. This is not stored in table format, right? So for that we use the SQL Server. I think now you know very well about the what is the all keyword, what is SQL Server, right? And so SQL is a structured query language. What is the relational data? RDB, relational database means something which is the data are related to each other, and in relational database management means that is stored in the row and column way, right? And developed by Microsoft. That database is managed by the developed by the Microsoft, and by which we can store means save, retrieve means fetch, and manage means insert or delete. Whatever you want, you can manage. All these things if you can do, so that is something is the explosive, right? What is the database? Now, database is an organized collection of data stored in table and managed by the DBMS, database management system. So database is something which is collect the tables. A similar type arrangement of tables which is stored in our data, right? Organized collection is called database. Now, what is table? Table in which we store the data in which format? Rows and table. Come to the all these three definition. Bottom to table. Table store the data in row and columns. Database. This is a collection of tables. And server is the collection of database, right? And in that data is stored in row and table format, store and retrieve and manage. Which type of the data is the row and column, right? So SQL Server, database and tables, we got it. Now what is the primary key? Primary key is the uniquely identifies each record in table and does not allow a null value. So what exactly it is? So whenever we store a data in our table, at that time we will have all the rows and columns. Means a single record store a single row, and how many column it will capture it's depend upon how many columns in your data, right? For example, if you have a table in that the columns are name and age, then it will occupy two columns. If you have a name, age, and address, then it will occupy three columns, right? So number of columns depend upon how many types of the type of the data, number of records, no, type of data you have in that table, right? Now come to the rows. So how many records we have, which depend upon the rows. Now we know what is the row and what is the column. Another way we can say rows are in stored in horizontal way, whereas columns are is in format of the vertical, right? So this is the something about the table, database, and server. Come to the point. What is the primary key? Primary key is something which is a set of rules. What rules means whenever we store the data, there will be a unique column in which no null value will be there. Null means blank, and no any rows specific to that column will be repeat. Means null value will not be there, and any row in which same value we will not insert in that column is called primary key. Means it will be uniquely identified. No one can have no record have a same value in that column, and null value also cannot exist. Is called primary.